Hi, this is Jeanette, and I just wanted to share with you a piece of software that I found that actually does the channel art designs for you in a pretty easy to use interface. You can find it over at easytubegraphics.com. So I've already logged into my account. You see that I have several channel art covers that I've worked on before, and I'm going to start here with a new design. So I can click on New Design. And this is just a basic design that's provided. It's kind of a default overlay if you want to. And then what I want to do is I'm going to come up here. I'm actually going to add the guide. Now the guide is just an overlay that puts on top of your channel art so that you can see exactly where everything needs to go in order to fit those various devices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change the template. So you can see I have a lot of different ways that I could change the template. There's a lot of different places that I could start. If I wanted to do something with a fitness channel, I could load in a template for the fitness channel. If I wanted to load in a one for, let's say I wanted to do something for a restaurant, I could load in the restaurant, and then I would have a template ready to go for the restaurant area. So lots of different possibilities here that are already built in and kind of give you some good ideas of how you could use this. But I'm going to start with just a basic blank template here, and the reason I like the blank is because it's nice and white. I use a lot of white in my particular business. I like that it has a little bit of a gradient to it, so that's a good place to start. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some text. So let me click here on text, and I'm going to add a title. So I have my title up here, and I'm just going to click on it and drag it down here in an area so it's more convenient to work on. And I'm going to talk about my YouTube channel. Now I can type anything I want to in there, and of course I can move that around once I've created that, but I also can come back in here, highlight it, and I can come up here to change the font. So I can go with a fancy script font. I could go with something that looked a little bit more corporate. I could do something that has a little bit of an impact to it, for example. Lots of different possibilities here. And I can also come back in here, and once I've found the font that I like, I can also size it. So I can move it and make it bigger or smaller very easily just by dragging this bar up here. So it makes it really easy. Once I've got it the way I want it, I'm just going to take and put it where I want it to be so that it fits in my main area. That's the area that's going to appear on all devices. Now let's go back up and add something a little bit different. So let me go up and add, and this time I'm just going to add a shape. So I have a variety of shapes I can check for here. So maybe I want to put an arrow in. I'm going to drag my arrow down here. So I'm going to highlight it, and maybe I want them to really notice here the icons that I have. I set up my channel so that I have icons on the overlay here that are going to appear right down here in this area, so that I have my social media down there. So maybe I want to put a long skinny arrow. Let's see if we can do one like about that size. And I think I want to make it a red arrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I'm going to come up to my color, and I'm going to choose the red I want. Or I could type in, if I know a red color, I can just type in the particular color that I use a lot, my A9000, and I click on OK, and I've got my red arrow now. So I can move that arrow around, but if I wanted to draw attention, for example, to those social media icons and to my website URL that's there, I could do that. Now I could also take this and I could do additional arrows and maybe put a whole line of arrows across there. So I can do a little bit of rearranging there. If I wanted to add some additional shapes, so if I wanted to put maybe a starburst here, then I can take that starburst and move it into position. One of the things that you want to remember is that your icon for your channel is going to appear over here in this square on the wider screens. So if I put my starburst here, I would want to make it big enough that it would actually kind of show up behind the icon, maybe put a star around that. But I think you'll find that it probably is going to be best if you put most of your art or anything that you want to really have people see over here on this side. So again, I'm just going to click on that there, and I'm going to take the color and I'm going to make it a bright yellow, and there I've got a yellow starburst. Now, when you've finished working on the things that you want, then you have your actions up here, and so you can save it. You'd want to save any work that you've done. You can do a save as, so if you want to open a prior one that you've worked on and do modifications to it, you could save as a new name, or you can download it. So if I wanted to download it, all I have to do is click the download button, save it to my hard drive, and then when I'm on my channel itself, that's where I can actually go over and upload it to create my new channel art. So you can see you've got a lot of different possibilities here with the different fonts. You've got some different types of effects here for creating patterns and lights and different types of social styles. If you wanted to add your social buttons here, you have the different styles that you can add. You can add up here all the different social buttons. So you've got your different kinds of buttons that you could use. So if you wanted to add different buttons in over here and then link those on your site over there to your channel, you could do that. You've got other possibilities here in terms of the different lighting that you can add. I can do some sunlight. It's coming in from a particular area. I could do a beveling to my screen if I wanted to, some smoothing. I have patterns that I could use. So if I wanted to use some sort of a background pattern that I wanted to use, I can add that in there as well. So there's lots and lots of possibilities. So you see that this added a little bit of texture. So if I added that type of a pattern to that basic design, now I have a very different looking texture from what I had. And of course, you always have your undo and redo buttons. So that's always helpful. I think you'll find that this is a very easy to use piece of software, and it really gives you the capabilities of being able to modify your YouTube channel art very easily. So go on over to EasyTubeGraphics.com and take a look at all the different features and all the bonuses that come along with the software.